Judy, Ken, Meg, Mary, wherever you are, Keating and Tisdale families, MP Block, Emily Wees, Mayor Baker, veterans, past and present, serving members, ladies and gentlemen of the community endowment. I'm honored to be here today, not to bring greetings from the North Saskatchewan Regiment, but more to talk to you about the reality and the importance of what today is all about. As I mentioned, I was the commanding officer of the North Saskatchewan Regiment, and I knew Shane as a young soldier at the very beginning of his military career. And all the accolades and the stories that you've heard today are all true. The young boy that Shane Keating was, and the man he became, is the person that we all knew. He was strong, he was resilient, he was full of life, he loved to laugh, and he was our brother. But today is all about a man, a community, a family, an army, and a country. Shane Keating, Corporal Shane Keating, was that man. On the 18th of September, 2006, I had the responsibility of going to Judy's home and telling her of Shane's death. That's the man. And in this country and in our military, we commemorate numbers, 158 Canadians killed in Afghanistan, and dates, 1914 to 1918, 1939 to 1945. But we sometimes forget the man, the woman, the person. On that day, when I went to Judy's door, there's 3 other senior officers going to other doors across Canada to tell families the importance of the deaths of Corporal Glenn Arnold, Corporal Keith Worley, and Private David Byers, who were Shane's brothers, who served with him and who ultimately, unfortunately, died. They were all men, and their names should not be forgotten. When you look at this community, the fact that the community would come forward so many years afterwards and commemorate Shane is what this country is all about. This is a community effort. It's a community that's come together to recognize and show respects, turn around and immortalize our brother Shane Keating in a way that I've never seen before. You look at this army. Before you today and into the crowd are veterans, past and present, serving members. They're here to pay respect to their brother. They are here because they represent you. Don't be afraid to talk to them. Talk to them. I know this country respects its military members because I've seen it throughout my own career, and especially over the past 12 years. But today is all about a community. I talk about an army and military made up of strong men and women who go wherever we ask them to go, to do whatever we ask them to do, and ultimately they do it with pride and resilience and sacrifice that you will never truly understand, but you should always appreciate. Because the men and women of your armed forces are your ambassadors, like Shane Keating. We've heard about Shane's willingness to give to other people. I believe Shane Keating epitomizes what it is to be a Canadian, like so many of my other brothers and sisters in the military. Somebody who's willing to go to a place they have no knowledge of, to give of themselves under conditions that are arduous and challenging, to meet people from different cultures, to try and create resolution through non-violence, or sometimes, when it's required, force of arms. In this country, we believe that there's a word called the peacekeeper. If you look in the dictionary, the word peacekeeper does not exist. But we are known throughout the world as being those who try to support peace. But what makes us strong as an army and as a military is that Canadian soldiers, airmen, and sailors are professionals. When they go on your behalf, both here and abroad, they do it as professionals. And Shane Keating was a professional. I've talked to the man, the community endowment, the army, and now the country. I was in Ottawa this past week And two things struck me in my visit to Ottawa. One is I went to the National War Memorial. The National War Memorial has been in existence since after the First World War. It is the single largest monument other than Vimy Ridge to commemorate the sacrifice of our Canadian soldiers, airmen, and sailors. It is a huge edifice in the center of our national capital. And as we all know, unfortunately, last October, it took on a different meaning when the enemy came to us. And the unfortunate death of Corp. But that monument, like so many other monuments across Canada that commemorates our soldiers, is one of stone and brass and bronze. It is a singular edifice that does not have light. It represents life, and it represents sacrifice. But this, there you go, I knew it was going to happen. This ark represents life. And that's why I find it so overwhelming to be here today. This is a living place to commemorate the life of a man. And how many you can be proud of what you've accomplished. So I went to the National War Memorial and I saw the guards on the memorial and I thought about it, what it represents. And I'm here today and they're both as grand, they're both as memorable, and they both evoke emotion. So Dominic, thank you for what you do. I was at a dinner. MP Block was there. A number of other senior ranking officers in the military and officials. And there was a word that was used and bandied about called patriotism. And the one guest speaker said, in the United States, everyone's considered to be a patriot. But here in Canada, we don't view ourselves as being patriots or patriotic. I hearken back to our national anthem, which we will sing momentarily, True Patriot Love. We are patriots as Canadians. We do it quietly, we do it effectively, and we're professionals. And so when I think about what you folks have done here in Dalmeny, you are all patriots. You have shown your patriotism to your country and to your military by creating this park in this special place. And now I talk to family. This is the hard part. The Keatings are my friends. In very challenging and trying circumstances, they brought me into their family. They treated me as a friend throughout. I know many strong, courageous, and brave people, but the Keatings are strong. They are brave, and they continue to represent what it is to be a military family. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your service. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.